Yeah, it's Krazycaley versus KCM. It's a rematch of the season 3 finals and a preview of possibly this season's finals because KCM is currently sitting in a pretty good position to make it back to the finals again here over yours truly, actually. Technically speaking, I need KCM to lose this match and his match against Kletos, and I need to beat Canadian Bacon. And if all three of those things happen, yours truly, actually, will be the ritual sacrifice to Kaylee in the finals instead of KCM. But that's a big ask because KCM can and has taken points off of Kaylee and Kletos alike. He's one of the few to do it with the former in particular. So I'm just going to unabashedly root against him tonight, even though I tend to like to see him win.
Yeah, I think we'll move on. I just realized that we did cut the Scallions Yeren Shet short there, but I mean, I'm excited for Game of Thrones here, and I'm excited to jump into KCM versus Kaylee as well with that that match securing it.
I agree.
I kind of feel hard done by. I mean, maybe we should continue the Yeren set. I don't know. There is reasons to.
That's fine. I think we'll call the audible and we'll go on to Krazycaley versus KCM if time is
Yeah.
a bit of the essence. So not a big deal. Just
Sure.
have to give me a little
Sure.
bit of time to set it up because I was
That's
ready
fine.
to keep on going.
Oh, I've got stats. Don't worry. I've got stats here. Yeah.
I mean, these two are very storied players, so I'm sure you have plenty of data.
Yeah, this is their 11th SCL meeting if you include the season 3 finals. Kaylee has won 5 and only lost 1 way back in season 2, but he's drawn KCM 4 times, including the last 2 times they played. And in fact, over the last 8 meetings, it's not just that there have been a lot of draws in the individual matches and all that. It's been that the actual game counts have been close. Over their last 8 matches, it's Kaylee 50 wins, KCM 45. So that's 95 games, which is just 5-game difference spread out over almost 2 years. Over that period of time, that's basically nothing. That's basically dead even. And it's happened. It hasn't been cheap either. KCM has won spy games on 4 and 5 mission variants with some regularity. It's really remarkable. What I really want to see with the picks and bans here are whether or not we get the run back, because we see this a lot from KCM. Something will happen. He'll get a draw, he'll get a loss or whatever, and he'll come back with the exact same thing. His game plan isn't, it didn't work. His game plan is, I'm going to come back better. And last time they played, Kaylee banned High Rise, KCM banned Library, and KCM specifically doubled Balcony. And I'll be very interested to see if he tries to do the exact same thing, but 5% better.
I mean, pretty much every pick and ban we've seen has been the exact same from these two over the last 5 or 4 matchups we've seen from season 4 to now. They just pick the same venues over and over again. They're very comfortable with the internal meta they have going on here.
Yeah, that's absolutely the way to put it. And I think it's a reflection of both players. Kaylee's thinking, you know what? Draws are going to get me to the finals against this guy anyway. That's okay. And KCM's thinking, no, I can do a little bit better. It's almost stubborn. I kind of admire it.
All right. Well, we'll see if the picks line up with the way they've been going this entire matchup. And here we go, getting into it. We have Kaylee banning High Rise.
Okay.
And KCM bans Library this time.
Yeah, did it in week 3 too. So that's 2 for 2.
Yep. And then Kaylee picks Veranda. Big surprise.
Yep.
KCM picks Balcony.
There we go. 4 for 4.
Kaylee picks Aquarium.
Courtyard. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Something different.
And
that's a mix up a little bit, yeah.
KCM picked Gallery.
Okay.
It's
so
been seen before, but
yeah, the last 2 are different. They're not wildly out of character or anything. It's just not identical anymore. So fair enough.
The internal meta has been broken between these two, but these are venues that both Kaylee and KCM have made home grounds. Kaylee, since week 6, has basically said, "Come on, fight me on Aquarium," and many have tried and failed. Now Kaylee will be taking it to KCM, who is often heralded as the best spy in Spy Party. It's a venue that really gives the spy a lot of agency. It's going to be an exciting single to watch later on in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things that's going to test that camping ability, force different play styles, but that also works well if you're an aggressive spy, which Kaylee is. So, like with Tayen, he's thinking, you know what? Maybe I'll lose my sniper game, but there's a pretty good chance I'm going to make up for it on the spy side.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get into this. The Season 3 finals was Krazycaley and KCM. And here on Veranda, we saw some crazy things from KCM, but wasn't quite able to clutch out the spy wins necessary to defeat Krazycaley in Season 3. Now here in Season 5, KCM on the verge of making it back to those finals once more in Diamond. We'll have to see if they can take down Kaylee here. Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Yeah.
And what does Krazycaley do?
Any point for KCM tonight. He's in the same situation your and was. If he manages a draw, he, and not me, are in the finals. So go Kaylee.
Let's reiterate that, because if I remember correctly, all that... Oh dear. Helicopter bug. It connected. Woo! Spiral points coming through from Krazycaley. KCM hasn't shot yet, but may just note that one down. If I remember correctly, Track, KCM needs a point from either this match or Kletos, which will be after this.
In the end of red.
And if he's not able to gain a point from either of those, then you need to win your series versus Canadian Bacon. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct, yeah. And again, he can obviously take a point off of Kaylee. He's done it before, and he's done very well against Kletos this year. So it's a big ask, but I'm hanging on to what little hope I've got there, bud.
All right. Well, Krazycaley gets the helicopter bug, gets the contact, and now we're stepping into a flirt with a seduction target. 51% green test at 3 minutes. Plenty of time to finish this game out. The pacing has been very quick from Krazycaley, but it's what we anticipate early on in the series. Krazycaley will test the sniper early and then adapt when necessary. And now we will see Krazycaley continue this pacing over towards the statues to pick up our inspects. It's nothing short of the typical spy game as far as behavioralists are concerned. You could just shoot Twin for looking like a spy on Veranda. We'll have to see if KCM will lean into that. We know that KCM has those tendencies. Wants to shoot for the cool things, not necessarily the easy things.
Yeah, Kaylee's spy style is actually a great fit for KCM Sniper, and for winning, that is. Specifically because KCM will hold that shot. He's a very, very patient sniper. Not as patient as Scallions, perhaps, more likely to shoot you, but he, going into our matchup, I think in Week 8, he hadn't shot a civilian all season.
That's a fingerprint on the statue. I don't know if Krazycaley knew the fingerprint was there. Potentially could have been going for the swap, but got the fingerprint and went, oh, okay, I guess I just fingerprint to finish instead of swapping.
Yep,
we do
he's
see
gonna
that.
hang out at the shelf now, I think, and just steal it.
Red Dress is about to put the book back. The fingerprint will be there. And this is what it comes down to. How suspicious is Twin to KCM? Will this fingerprint kill Krazycaley in the first spy game of this Diamond matchup?
How long do you want to wait if you're Kaylee? The answer is not very, about 10 or 12 seconds, and then you're just going to go right for it and dare him to shoot, and with 90 seconds left, it's hard to imagine it's going to happen.
Fingerprint comes off, 10-second mission win countdown. KCM's sniper laser does not look to move, and that's going to be the first game of this series going over to Krazycaley.
That's really rough. It's so hard to get spy wins by Krazycaley, and it's even harder when you need to get one by just to pull back even. That is a very tenuous start there for KCM.
Can we get a sick bug cam on the helicopter bug? Yes, we can. That's how you want to start off your series. Right there, in style.
That's a the spinning is more like a motion sickness bug cam. That's kind of what it's like. Yeah, 360 into bug, and it works. Okay, I mean, who am I to complain? Woohoo! Good job, Kaylee. Keep it up, bud.
Yeah, KCM moves his camera during it, which just does not help at all. He's not thinking a bug's about to happen, just low lighting an SDA, and that's what you get for doing that. Not paying enough attention.
It's a very unfortunate start for KCM, especially when you watch the replay and you see how clear it could have been. But KCM is the kind to do it, to bring it back from dire odds in Diamond, time and time again. Now as Salmon on Veranda, we'll have to see if KCM can do it here. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Bug during the low lighting the SDA. What did I say earlier? Do things while the sniper's doing their housekeeping. Low lighting cast, highlighting statues, marking books. It's hard to time, but when you can, the sniper has to do it at some point.
I just love the stark difference that we're seeing here between some of the earliest players in the sets we've casted to this Diamond matchup. The first frame that it's possible to take spy control. Both KCM and Kaylee do it. Want to be in full control if something was to come about. We know that Krazycaley, almost remarkably like an AI, a machine when it comes to these things, quickly identifies the first mission that could be completed in a time of chaos and does not hesitate to do so.
Yeah, does not waste any time. Every second's precious. Take control. Start doing something right away.
KCM, a much slower approach to this first spy game, looking for the reverse bug onto Taft, gets it, connects. And looking at the sniper cam, it looks like potentially Seek blocked the majority of that. We'll have to see how suspicious Kaylee is when it comes to those. The reverse drive-bys, typically a weakness when it comes to Kaylee's ability to catch bugs.
Yeah, and it's just going to be hard to catch
red.
them against KCM in particular because he's just exceptional at it. His bug rate has absolutely spiked this season, and that, I think, more than anything, is what's coincided with his increased win rate.
I'm not saying he can't do it. Kaylee, one of the best bug catchers in Spy Party. But if you're going to do it, a twitch or reverse drive-by is generally the preferred method. Bug contact completed, 34% flirt coming through. KCM looking to chase buns for the second of such flirt over towards the green bookshelf.
Kaylee paying a lot of attention to that guest list, double zooming to see if it's gone. This low viewing angle makes it very hard to be certain in short order.
KCM says that 3 at bookshelves is A-OK.
Well, if KCM says it, maybe I should reconsider.
As one to play a perfect spy game. He was okay going for that flirt at bookshelves. Can we get to the conversation? Yes, we can. We'll pick up... No, we can't. No! It's an extra target. No!
Yes!
And that's so typical KCM as well. Looks at the arrow, sees that the yellow was on Buns, which means Buns is the one who's meant to talk. KCM doesn't talk in that 2-person conversation. It costs him a seduce.
I know your tendency is to root for the spy, but if you could ease up on that just a little bit in this particular instance, it would make my life a little easier.
Here comes the flirt to finish that mission. With 3 missions completed and specs in pocket. We're looking very close to finishing this spy game. 1 minute and 12 seconds. Could it be the inspect swap coming through? And how suspicious will Kaylee be? 1 minute on the clock. Let's see what he does with his camera here. The inspect will come through in a very good position, actually, to catch this inspect from the sidelines here. The swap doesn't come through. KCM opting out.
Very interesting choice on both sides. Krazycaley thinks this person isn't done, and KCM figures, I'm not going to finish right now.
Does that mean that KCM is opting in for a swap at his 3rd statue set? Yes, it does. Here it comes. Very tight up on this. The swap will come through. It's a green test, and Krazycaley rotated for it. Very suspicious of the fact that Salmon could be completing. 24 seconds on the clock. Mission win pending. Gonna pick up a red book and peace on out. Here comes a highlight to do it. And Krazycaley will rotate. But look, Taft is blocking it.
He's blocking
Can he get the angle here? Can he find it? Looking for the green swap. There it is. He sees it and he will find a shot onto Salmon.
It's just mechanical. That's the right word for it. You use that to describe his spy, but it works for the sniper too. KCM is again ground down in the gears of Kaylee's clockwork sniper. That was barely visible on the screen, but he saw it. Even with Taft doing a body block of the kind he almost never does, body blocking his ambassador, why pick between the two? Kaylee just needs that little sliver of the animation, and he's all over it.
Fantastic awareness from Krazycaley. An ability to camp those mission sites down. We'll never know if that bug was seen, but it surely was insinuated. KCM very close to finding a spy win here on Veranda, but close is just not enough versus Krazycaley.
I think a green swap at that other statue would have been a slightly higher percentage play because the statue you were swapping requires such a rotation so that when someone goes over for it, Kaylee would have to sell out on looking at it, and that creates possibilities on the other end. It's not much. Maybe it doesn't work either way. It usually doesn't against Kaylee, but I think in this case it would have given him a slightly better chance of sneaking out that much needed spy win. But that said, I'm glad he didn't.
2-0 on the board. The bias is strong here from Morning Track. Krazycaley as Orange Dress looking to continue the pacing that he's found himself in this series. We'll have to see if he's able to do so. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Orange Dress, a slow character, the slowest of the cast, but not without her strengths. As we see the ambassador walk past, looks like Krazycaley just going to follow the seduction target into conversation.
And if Kaylee were going to play a little slower, this would be the game to do it, I think. After showing all that strong mission progress the first time, finishing with 90 seconds left, which is pretty quick for Veranda.
A very strong opening of a flirt as well at 45%. We'll step in for our second. Up to 79, and now we can complete flirt at a very comfortable range later on into this match.
The alluded to slow play is certainly not in evidence yet, with that quick second flirt.
And a quick purloin as well. White test. Toby shows us the tray. Doesn't look like KCM has reacted to it just yet, and will hide. Kaylee gulps the drink and gets out of there. Doesn't want to be seen at the scene of the crime. The guest list has been seen. The lowlights will come out onto the left side now. KCM considering the possibilities here. Quite a few lowlights taken, all accurate so far. Krazycaley not one of them.
This has actually been a consistent weakness for KCM on Veranda, is the purloin. He will not check it for quite a while sometimes. It happened in one of our games in Week 8 as well. And as you see, got a few lowlights, then thought better one of them. They were kind of location-based. Look at the lowlights. 5 total. That is not enough to trade for that purloin, I don't think.
We'll have to see how KCM can bring this one back into a favorable position. There's so much time left on the clock that even though 5 low lights seems a little, doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world. Krazycaley with a green action test microfilm transfer at the green bookshelf here, pulling it out and putting it in his pocket, now lining up for a bug potentially, and he goes for it. The bug, whilst transitioning, starting you stop in conversation. It means you don't get the lean. Very strong play from Krazycaley.
Yeah, that's just a really tough bug to catch unless you're really, really looking at it. But that late highlight is very significant. That green microphone, by the way, did not have to be green. There was so much occlusion from that conversation. It was purely a bonus. That's definitely free. But that delayed highlight is so significant. The question is, how big of a suspect is he?
Krazycaley is bouncing at this point. Very fast progress. Very fast stops. Here comes the blue book. Will we transfer microphone whilst the ambassador is threatening in a conversation? I don't think Kaylee goes for the test here. I think he takes it out. Because the ambassador's there, there's no reason not to look over here. Kaylee will look for a more favorable time to go for this. Maybe a more favorable location. Here we go. Takes the book. Transfers, urge a camera, but KCM looks for it and will find the shot.
Yeah, I think after the bug, that was enough. I think KCM was just totally onto him. He knows how to bug well, and the flip side is he knows what a good bug looks like. And that was a really good bug from Kaylee, but it's just a better catch from KCM, unfortunately.
Yeah, looking at this. Oh, the lean actually was there, so it was a standing bug. I called it wrong in the moment.
But it looks so subtle. When you actually watch, though, it looks so much like just sort of shifting around in an idle animation. It's really good. If you're not looking right at it, it's probably just going to be clean.
For sure. KCM, huge suspicion coming through from the bug. Rightfully so. We'll be able to pick up Kaylee on the second sniper game here on Veranda for KCM. And now with the score 2-1, a chance to equalize it with a spy win of their own. Playing as Duke, the Prince of Spy Party here. We'll have to see if KCM's able to do it. 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's funny because I actually really do think that Mr. U here is KCM's character. Some iconic moments in Spy Party history have been KCM playing as this character.
Yeah, the no talk on balcony last season, which was one of the more fun matches we've ever played, and one of the more exciting moments in one of the more fun matches we've ever played. And you better believe that both of these competitors remember that game.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's funny what characters you kind of link people with, you know. Noob, Small Man, Scallions, Orange Dress, Kaylee Taft, and Kane.
Yeah.
And for KCM, It's certainly Duke for me.
Well, there's the spy party royalty aspect,
This
and
is so
he
cheeky.
does have blonde hair.
So cheeky. Fingerprint. Let's get the briefcase, put it out of sight, get the fingerprint, never get seen, hopefully with it. And
Well,
Krazycaley is the person to do it. If you can just get that fingerprint and run away with it, good stuff.
this is actually a
the
really
end of red.
underrated part of facing a good sniper. When you face a
White
good
test
sniper,
contact.
that mission count, oh boy, into Purloin, their mission count is so important, and if you get a free, he's all over that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So the good, I was going to say, the good thing about facing a good sniper actually is that they're usually very confident in their mission count. So they're very confident you could have done one fingerprint rather than two. They won't necessarily credit the second. They won't necessarily take an aggressive shot. And if they are very convinced you have one fingerprint, they're going to be waiting for that second fingerprint to happen when that mission win screen pops up. So if you can get away with one, you can turn the sniper's own competence against them. Doesn't happen here though, because it's followed up quickly with just a boring white purloin, and you're not going to get too many of those by Kaylee.
Yep. He just gets one glance at the list, has his memory on lockdown. Who was the last person to be offered? It was the double agent themselves, and they took a drink, so there was no one who could have been involved in that list of rejects. Very confident memory coming through from Krazycaley, and it's very unfortunate to go from a cute little briefcase play where you just attempt to never be seen with the briefcase to just the contact and white purloin, breaking it all down. 3-1 here as we head into balcony, a venue that anything could happen. Krazycaley, we'll have to see how he does so in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Of course,
I don't know why you'd say that's unfortunate. I find it personally very fortunate. I'm liking this 3-1 start very, very much, although now we go into actually KCM's pick, which could be a great equalizer for sure.
I mean, let's talk balcony stats. 57% spy win for KCM, 43% sniper win. Krazycaley, 47% spy win, 50% sniper win. Balcony, a venue that people generally pick into Krazycaley because it probably offers just enough randomness that you can get away with a spy win against Kaylee. But I mean, Kaylee has had to play it so many times now that realistically, I have to think that Kaylee feels fairly comfortable playing balcony.
Yeah, it's not a great weakness. It's a relative weakness is what it is. And that's what you're going to have to take when you're up against the best.
63% on a flirt. The contact's already out. It's a very fast-paced game here from Krazycaley as the spy. Waiting for Orange Dress to step back into conversation. She's currently on briefcase duty. We'll come back to that in just a second here as Kaylee waits patiently. And where will Orange Dress go after this? There's not much room in conversation. So she either snuggles up with the ambassador, which she does do, which is actually just good enough for a green flirt here if we can hit it. We do. Wow. This is going to be it. Mission win countdown. 7 seconds on the board. Krazycaley hitting the tests. And I just don't see KCM taking the shot here. That's going to be another spy win to Kaylee.
No, because of KCM's patient sniper, basically, if you can hit your ATs on balcony, you're going to win a shocking amount of the time, is basically how it goes. It's almost like if you hit them, you win. And Kaylee hit them.
That was a white test up close, a green test from across the conversation, and then a green close at medium range. There's really no reason to think that Krazycaley was ever flirting with Orange Dress due to the positions in conversation was held, and that's a very nice spy game coming through from Kaylee. 4-1 now, I believe, and we'll have to switch it over to KCM, who's going to be playing Seek on the balcony. 3, 2, 1, playing it. .51% flirt, a stop talk, slightly justified.
Kaylee highlights all early talkers there.
We've seen Kaylee shoot for 3 greens in the past. I mean, you've been on the receiving end of that in SCL.
Yeah.
Let's see if KCM1 can hit the 3 green, and 2 if Kaylee will shoot for it.
I think KCM is one of the handful of spies he would do it for, yeah.
Interesting highlighting, low-lighting strategy coming through where Kaylee highlight all the early talkers, and the one person who didn't talk, they get low-lit, and everyone gets reversed back down to neutral because I guess everyone's pretty much the same.
Yeah, well, I think that makes sense. And the really interesting thing is low-lighting the person who didn't talk. It's an understandable thing, but if you've seen KCM play balcony, you know he started out balcony games very, very much like this.
Damn, look at this. It's down to 2 really at this point, I think. General's a consideration.
No, you see it's fluid though, right? So when they're all equal, bump them back down, and then bump them back up when they talk again, so it's sort of like a count.
This is it. Do we assume that the flirts were green from KCM? 4 seconds on the mission win countdown. It seems like Krazycaley is just going to play safe here. KCM's going to BM, trying to look for the bug, doesn't quite get it, but doesn't matter. That's a spy win for KCM.
Tried for the 3 of 3 set. Yeah, he has done that to me also, although albeit more in casual sets, thankfully. That's just a standard game. 2 green flirts, and Caley can shoot for it. Doesn't mean he's going to. Doesn't mean it's the high percentage play. I think most of the time, not always, but most of the time, you just got to let the spy have that one.
Potentially, yeah. You don't need to shoot because you are up in the series already, and that's
that too.
That's a fair point. You know, if the spy is finished, then congrats to them. I'm 4-2. Heading on into Krazycaley's spy game here. As queen, we'll have to see if KCM can pull it back. Looking for a sniper win here to try and attempt to equalize the series up in 3, 2, 1. Playing it in the power corner for Krazycaley. Hidden behind
banana bread.
2 fine gentlemen, a green contact to start this game off.
And green contacts matters way less against KCM than most snipers on balcony. It's way more about your positioning, your etiquette, and your flirt timing. But he's thinking, hey, this person did not flirt while they were in there if they green, so that's reason enough to lowlight. And you can't lowlight Caley because Caley gets missions done.
Caley's going to look for the bug to finish this one off. As a lowlight mission win countdown, KCM does not look to have seen it, and that's going to be a very sad sniper loss for KCM here on balcony.
It's a perfectly understandable lowlight. It's a little aggressive, but I understand the logic. It's just that it burnt you right away, almost immediately.
That bug definitely noticeable if you were looking for it, but I think that lowlight from KCM was fairly honest, as lowlights go. And I mean, a lowlight onto a lowlight ambassador makes it even worse.
Yes, that's another thing too. I think you actually have to reconsider your lowlight ambassador strategy in this scenario if you're going to take soft lowlights too. I think you can do one or the other. When you do them together, they intersect in very dangerous ways, as we just saw.
That's going to be Krazycaley getting his second spy win here on balcony. Let's see if KCM can do the same thing as Irish in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
And KCM playing for a split on his doubled map after losing 3 of 4 on Kaylee's. That is not what you want, not what you need. It is what I need, though.
KCM, unfortunately, not able to pick up a flirt early, but will receive a low light from Krazycaley as a bit of a courtesy for not flirting early. Now, not sure how much that matters. Here comes the bug, the snapback, very visible on camera. You would think that Krazycaley would shoot if he thought that was a spy win. The highlight comes through, but not a shot.
Wow.
And that's going to be KCM stealing it.
Jeez, right back. Same thing. Same thing, basically. Low light into bug on balcony. And that's going to keep KCM's hopes alive. That's actually a really, really necessary win for him.
And like I mentioned, the snapback of the hand, I mean, it's noticeable, but Krazycaley didn't really position for it because at that point, I think you're very much just respecting the low light. That's going to be 4 spy wins on balcony.
Some people keep watching their lowlights. Some people sort of watch them. And for some people, their lowlights are just dead to them. They don't exist anymore. And that actually makes the lowlights more inherently valuable, and you could focus more on your remaining suspects. It works really well, except when you take that sort of behavioral lowlight, and it's the spy, and you're up against maybe the best bugger in Spy Party, who bugs and the game's over, just like that.
There's been a lot of spy wins there so far in this game. Caley with 3 of 4 spy wins.
Wow.
Impressive stuff for him. Now heading on to Aquarium, which is a venue I've been waiting to see Krazycaley and KCM battle it out on. Unfortunately, it'll just be a single for our viewing pleasure. Krazycaley as red dress here. Currently 5-3 up in the series, and we'll have to get it underway in 3, 2, 1, playing it. As some will know, this is one of my favorite venues, track. And
you were the winner of the Shark Weekend tournament, as a matter of fact.
Indeed. Seeing the best battle it out on a new venue that I just think has so much spy agency. An early swap comes through from Kaylee, and that's going to be a insta-shot coming through from KCM once the Shark permits.
Yeah, Shark is body blocking for us a little bit here, but it's just a matter of time. As soon as he's unobscured, yeah.
I saw General's hand flicker. heart skipped a beat for half a second there. Yeah, that's
Don't worry, Dowsy, I'm not that lucky. Good things like that don't happen to me. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, that's pretty simple. Swap was caught. Kaylee got shot. And yeah, let's move it straight on in. KCM now looking to equalize the series as Bling Twin here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah,
and I think
it's gonna be
really
Gallery after this.
Yeah. Gallery after this, yeah. This is the game I've been wanting more than anything, is the KCM Aquarium Spy game. What does KCM do? How does he do it? Let's find out.
Yeah, we're going to need a lot more games to see. I think he's going to need some time with it, but we were thinking along the same lines right there. I was mentioning Gallery as another way of saying that this is arguably KCM's best chance to get that spy win to equalize.
KCM will delegate and leave an etiquette hardtail, but potentially Kaylee is one of the people to use that technique against. Over to the green bookshelf to pick up a fingerprint from the ambassador. Still with that delegate in pocket, ready to go. It will expire at some point at 2:38. So still got some time to take it out. I wouldn't be surprised if KCM goes to the floor and immediately chucks it into the delegate. Twin has a pretty blendable torque animation. So if you wanted to go for it, you could. The double torque, that is.
Mm-hmm.
But at this stage, it's becoming too late.
They chain together very well, yeah. And Smallman's going to leave anyway, so it would be General instead, and it just doesn't look like it makes sense anymore.
I mean, KCM can chase Smallman to his location, but instead we'll just head over. In fact, when did that happen? The purloin has happened. Okay, we missed it.
Yeah, completely.
It must have happened behind Shark.
It ended up, Twin basically went into a conversation, insta-delegated bailed. That's what happened.
Yep.
It looked like a normal path. If Kaylee saw it, it's real bad for KCM. But
yeah, geez, that was so smooth. I tried something like that myself actually in a competitive game. I delegated behind the Shark, and it can work pretty well. You have to have a snapshot of the party beforehand, but that's one thing Kaylee's good at, are snapshots mentally of the party, and you can see because look at the lowlights since.
Yeah, I mean, Kaylee would just remember how many people have been to bar, and he would just keep those in the game. Cowboy, Smallman, Alice, and Bling Twin have all been to the bar before the purloin happened, meaning that they are one of the spies. Doesn't matter who took the guest list. Kaylee doesn't bother that kind of information. That's useless.
But they're all in with a potential double agent. That could not have gone better.
We've got a fingerprint, remember, from the green bookshelf. With the seduce now done, we need to find a fairly stealthy fingerprint to finish this off. There's a briefcase at blue. Alice is going to head over towards it. We're going to head over towards it as well. This is going to be it. KCM betting it on a fingerprint, but KCM will not get the spy win he wants. That's going to be Kaylee taking the shot and taking match point here in this series.
Yeah, that's going to take him to 6. He's going to get at least a draw now. I still need him to take one more. This isn't quite enough for me. Very quick shot, clearly just waiting for it. I actually wonder if it would have been smarter to let that other suspect take it for you in that scenario, although I don't think KCM could possibly know that.
Let's get a review on that. Yeah, as he exits the green bookshelf, jumps into conversation with Cowboy, delegates and leaves immediately. Potentially you can get away with that with Kaylee due to the fact that Kaylee's more bothered on camping mission sites directly rather than looking for the little small details, but that's not to say he won't catch them. And now, like you mentioned, for KCM to find his point here and to make it to the Diamond Championship, he needs to find 2 wins in a row. Krazycaley going to treat us on Gallery to a small man game. I can't wait for it. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Kaylee will do this. He will pick small man. It feels like, anecdotally, it feels like he'll pick it when he's up and wants to press the advantage and secure the win. Smallman on Veranda secured him the Season 4 championship against Canadian Bacon, for example.
That's going to be a bug just as you walk past. Not really your typical ballroom, gallery play, due to the fact there's so many ways to get good bugs on gallery unseen, but Kaylee doesn't care. He's going to take the book from blue to green, already highlight for the bug path, mind you, pops it straight in. We're just rushing here. KCM, shoot me, I dare you. I bet this is a Purloin coming up in just a second. Maybe
What did
not.
I say?
We
This is
didn't,
what
we didn't
Kaylee
quite
does.
get into conversation, so
Yep.
Kaylee bails on the idea.
When he's up big, he is aggressive. He presses the advantage. He tries to end it in one big move at the end. That's what he does. He plays more aggressive. He plays aggressively all the time, but he plays more aggressively to start the match and to end the match.
I'll be really disappointed if KCM doesn't shoot Smallman on a contact here, due to the fact that we took the time to highlight him as he entered the blue bookshelf because we were suspicious of the bug path, to then see him exit green bookshelf or at least cross over towards the green. I mean, I know Smallman's small and it's very easy to miss him passing by that back conversation, but it just seems like you're taking your eye off the prize here in such a crucial point of the game as KCM.
I mean, I'll be disappointed if he does shoot him, frankly, but I hear what you're saying.
Just going to look for the timer float here. Krazycaley, all the time in the world to finish this game off. The 2 hardtails already completed here on gallery in split seconds. If you blinked, you missed it. And now we just get to talk, I suppose, track about life, the weather, Game of Thrones coming up after this.
Yeah, Game of Thrones tonight. We're not even going to try to compete with it, don't worry. But personally, I do find the Diamond drama a little more interesting sometimes, probably because I'm in it. And we're going to chase here, try to get this flirt done. There's really no risk. The big test, of course, is the banana bread. Even if he's a huge suspect, there's just no reason to shoot yet. So we don't actually have a good sense of how likely Kaylee is to win this. But it feels like he's in a pretty good position.
Here comes the last flirt. Krazycaley, will we finish it with a Purloin, and we're going to look for the contact. A minute left on the clock. Double Agent is being a bit of a tricky one as he continues to tease us. We're not going to go for the Purloin just yet. We have patience. We trust Kane to come to the conversation, and he does. We magnetically pull him in. Here comes the contact. Here comes the final moment. 9 seconds on the clock. Low light's being pulled out by KCM. Will the shot come off? Doesn't seem likely. This is going to be Krazycaley with a 7-4 here versus KCM. And unfortunately for KCM, not a shot at finals just yet.
No, I still need Kletos to come through for me. Come on, buddy. I'll buy you lunch at PAX. And I need to beat Bacon. Neither of those things are things you could take for granted at all. But it ain't over just yet. Thank God. Thanks, Kaylee. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, it's very tough loss, I think, right at the end there for KCM. It seemed really like KCM should have been over that. Potentially the highlight was actually just due to the fact that, Smallman gallery. Like, it's possible I'm overstating the highlight here. It could have just been purely, I need to have this character highlight. But either way, I think
it's just mission count. The bug felt so clean, so clean, and it just sometimes it can feel cheesy to you to shoot Smallman on gallery for things you didn't see in particular, and there's a lot we didn't see there. And this is actually the first time that Kaylee's beaten him since middle of last season. They'd drawn 6-6 each of the last 2 meetings, late last year and early this year. This one still kind of close like most, but not quite as close as we're accustomed to. And Kaylee is in the finals. KCM, not quite yet.
I mean, that's a good feeling for Kaylee, who is guaranteed for finals either way at this point. It's just playing out of courtesy to finish the season off and getting that win in a fairly convincing manner, I would say. It felt pretty good. I mean, Balcony's always going to split things up a little bit, but yeah, that's a strong win for Kaylee.
Yeah, if you're Kaylee, you're feeling particularly good about your spy because KCM's obviously a very good sniper. And spy wins across Diamond have been up lately. In fact, based on the old Diamond spy win record, I think something like 3 of us are currently above it right now heading into the home stretch. So Diamond in general, the spies are getting much trickier, probably partially from the venues, although I'll crunch the numbers and confirm that. And we're seeing it here too, obviously. A lot of spy wins in that set, way more than you normally get in any Diamond set.
It's a very interesting end to season with Diamond up in the contention. We now know Platinum's locked in. We now know Gold's locked in. Just need to wait for the other divisions to finish it off. And Silver and below before the tournament of position begins. The end of SCL5 rounding up quite nicely, Track.
Yeah. There's only one thing I'm wishing for that hasn't happened yet. We'll wait another week or two and see if I get it. But yes, Diamond will be probably the next division to kind of wrap up its finals before we get into the longer divisions that play 13 weeks rather than 10. We'll know soon enough. But Diamond is once again coming down to the wire, just like it did last season, just as like it usually does.